Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel LNZ Pro. This is Ratnesh Parekh, and today we will study abuse of dominant position. This is a topic of competition law, and this is given in section 4 and section 19 of the Competition Act 2002. First of all, I'll give you some overview about this video. So in this video we'll see that dominant position, what is dominant position, and we'll see that abuse of dominant position is prohibited. And the main act in India that deals with abuse of dominant position is the Competition Act. In particular, section 4 and section 19 of the act deal with these kind of situations. The main intention behind section 4 and section 19 of the act is to protect, create and maintain a competitive market that in turn will benefit the consumers. And then the Competition Commission of India is the deciding authority on the matters wherever there's allegation as to the contravention of section 4 and 19 of the act. As in, wherever there's allegation that abuse is happening, abuse of dominant position is happening, somebody is abusing its dominant position, CCI will handle those matters. And the main important thing is, just being dominant is not wrong, but abusing the dominant position is wrong. So let's start the video by this question: who is considered to be dominant? In section 4 explanation part, it is given who is considered to be dominant, and according to that definition, dominant position means a position of strength enjoyed by an enterprise in the relevant market in India, which enables it to operate independently of competitors or affects its competitors or consumers in its favor. This is a strength. At least this much strength an enterprise should have to be dominant, that it is able to operate independently. It doesn't need any of the competitors in the market to operate, or it should have the power to affect competitors or consumers in its favor. That much power it should have. Then only the enterprise will be considered to be dominant. Now, whenever there's allegation, or how the CCI will, as we have discussed that CCI is the deciding authority in these matters, so how CCI will start an investigation or start an inquiry in the matter of abuse of dominant position. So according to section 19, in 3 situations CCI may inquire into the allegations of contravention of section 4. First is on its own motion, without any information, without any notice, without any complaint. CCI itself sometimes may feel, okay, this company or this enterprise is abusing the dominant position, so it may start the inquiry. Second point is on receipt of any information. Suppose any citizen or any competitor may give any information to CCI that this particular enterprise or this particular company is abusing its dominant position, CCI may start an investigation on that also. Third is when reference is made by government. That means reference by central government and state government both. So whenever central government and state government wants CCI to inquire in matters wherever there's allegation of section 4 of the act, as in the CCI can start investigation on those matters also. So in 3 situations CCI may start an investigation. First is on its own motion, second is on receipt of any information, and third is when reference is made by the government. Now when CCI starts an investigation in a matter, in a case, there are 3 steps that are very important. The investigation will go step by step. First step is, what is the relevant market? CCI will first decide what is the relevant market in this particular case. Second question is whether an enterprise is dominant or not. We have seen who is considered to be dominant, so it will be decided whether an enterprise is dominant or not. Third is whether dominant position was abused. As I've told you, being dominant is not enough. If the answer to second question is yes, then it will go into the third question, that okay, is it abusing or not? Being dominant itself is not enough. That is not wrong. First step, deciding the relevant market. So let's know something about relevant market first. There are two types of relevant market. First is relevant product market, and second is relevant geographic market. Relevant product market will include all the products or services that are interchangeable or substitutable by the consumer. That means if consumer is not able to get one product or not afford one product, consumer should be able to use some other product for that particular purpose, as in the utility should be interchangeable by the consumer by some other product. Next is relevant geographic market. Relevant geographic market will be including the area in which the condition of competition or demand or supply are distinctly homogeneous and can be distinguished or can be differentiated from the condition prevailing in the neighboring areas. That means condition of as in demand of one thing will be different in India, it will be different in Pakistan, it will be different in Tamil Nadu, it will be in Rajasthan. So that particular area in which these things are different than the neighboring areas, so that will be the relevant geographic market. Now, how the CCI will decide the relevant geographic or product market? There are certain factors that are given in section 19. So for the determination of relevant product market, these are the factors that are considered by CCI. CCI shall consider these matters, these factors. First is physical characteristics or end use of goods. How does that look and how people use that, in what utility that is best, that product. Next is price of goods or services. Price is also very important thing. Consumer preferences, whether consumers prefer this thing or that thing, how much, to what extent do they give preference to this particular product, like that. Then exclusion of in-house production. It will also be seen whether this thing is manufactured by the company itself, or the company is giving this product for manufacturing to some other company, like that, or is it manufactured in this particular area, or is it manufactured in particular country. That will also that also may be considered. Next is existence of specialized producers. That means, is this product producible only by one company, like does only one company manufacture this product, there's no other company to manufacture this product. That factor will also be considered. Next is classification of industrial products. So these are the factors that will be considered in the determination of relevant product market. Now these are the factors that will be considered in determination of relevant geographic market. First is regulatory trade barriers. What are the regulations in that particular area, what are the laws, like that. It will be seen how difficult it is to trade in that particular area, in that particular geography. Next is local specification requirement, national procurement policies, adequate distribution facilities, transport cost, languages, consumer preferences again, need for secure or regular supplies or after sales services also, like customer care services also, how much they have to give, how much they have to spend on that. Like that, relevant geographic market will also be decided by considering these factors. Now we have seen first step. We have seen what is the relevant market, how it will be decided. First step is completed. Once CCI decides both the relevant markets, as in relevant product market and relevant geographic market, it will go to the second question, whether an enterprise is dominant or not. This is the second question. Now, who is considered to be dominant? We have already seen. According to section 4, a company, an enterprise that has the strength in the relevant market in India, so that much strength that it can operate independently of competitors. It does not need any competitor to operate. Then it should be able to affect competitors or consumers in its favors. So that particular enterprise will be considered dominant. First, relevant market will be decided, then dominance will be decided. Now, these are the factors that will be considered to decide dominance. CCI will consider these factors. Market share of the enterprise, how big that enterprise is, size and resources of the enterprise, how much money does that have. Size and importance of the competitors, that will also be seen. Is it like Jio versus Airtel, or is it like Jio versus some Aircel, or a smaller company even? Size and importance of the competitors will also be important. Economic power of the enterprise, dependence of consumers on the enterprise, whether consumers are dependent on that particular company enterprise or not. Entry barriers will also be seen. Social obligation and social cost will also be seen, and any other factor that CCI considers relevant for the inquiry may be considered to decide dominance. These are the factors that will be considered to decide dominance, along with the definition that we have seen. Now we have seen relevant market, we have seen how dominance is decided. Once the answer to second question is yes, okay, one enterprise against whom allegation is put forth by someone, the enterprise is dominant. After that is proved, it will be seen whether it is abusing the dominant position or not. So when an enterprise will be considered to be abusing dominant position, according to section 4, there are 5 situations. In these 5 situations, if any enterprise is doing any of these things, then it will be considered to be abusing the position. First is imposing unfair or discriminatory conditions or price in purchase or sale of the goods. As in, you put some price which is not fair. If you do that, it will be abuse of dominant position. Or if you give some condition, okay, if you do this, then only I'll give you the product for this much amount, that is also considered to be abuse of dominant position. Predatory prices will also come under the first one. Predatory price is any price which is below the cost. If you're selling for that price, that is called predatory pricing, and this will be covered under the first point, that is also abuse of dominant position. Second point is limiting or restricting production. If you limit the production or restrict the production, it will be abuse of dominant position. Or technical and scientific development also. If you are not letting the technical development to grow, it will be abuse of dominant position. Third is indulging in practices resulting in market access denial. Suppose a company is doing something which is not letting other companies to enter the market, that will be considered abuse of dominant position. Next is conclusion of contract subject to acceptance of another obligation. Now if you enter into contracts with another companies, your purchasers or sellers, with them, if you enter into a contract that if you accept this condition, then only I'll enter into contract with you, and that condition has nothing to do with the real commerce whichever is in the question here, so that will be considered abuse of dominant position. Fifth is using dominant position in one market to enter another market, that will also be considered to be abuse of dominant position. So these are the 5 situations when an enterprise will be considered to be abusing its dominant position. Thank you so much for watching the whole video till the end. I hope you have understood everything. And if you have not subscribed our channel till now, I would request you to subscribe our channel. And there are many videos that we upload relating to many subjects: law, CA, CS, accountancy. We cover almost everything, and we are intending to spread more knowledge as we grow. So please subscribe. If you have liked this video, like it. If you don't like this video, if you think something is missing, something is wrong, please dislike and mention in the comment why you are disliking. If you have any suggestions for us, please mention in the comments, and you can even contact us through the email. I'll mention the email ID in the description. Thank you so much.